What's good? It's a Stream Caution. Today I'm finally going on my official WWE Clash in Paris review. Finna go over every match on the card, what I thought of the potential feud, what I thought of every single match, what I could think leading after every single match. You guys let me know your overall thoughts and opinions. If you like daily wrestling content, you should like, comment, and subscribe because I upload daily wrestling content. Finna go ahead and jump straight into the review. The opening match starts off with Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this match. I will say it did take a while for it to start to pick up, but I really enjoyed this style. I really enjoyed this match. A good back and forth. It made Bronson Reed actually feel like a monster throughout the match. Because throughout the match, Bronson Reed had Roman's number. Like, he had the advantage for a good portion of the match. It made Bronson Reed look strong. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting a moment where Roman ends up hitting a Samoa drop at the top rope. Then he goes for a spear to pick up the victory. Then after the match, you have them celebrating. Paul Heyman tries to plead, try to, beg for Roman's forgiveness, tries to say he acknowledged Roman. He ends up giving his shoes back. He ends up giving him the shoe to follow. But Roman ends up attacking Paul Heyman. He ends up putting him in the guillotine, if I'm not mistaken. Then this is where I think Braun Breaker comes in the picture, where he ends up sparing him. Then it was a moment where they took a minute. You got security, they're checking up on him. He ends up coming back up, and then Braun Breaker later on ends up sparing him again. This was a wild segment because I think he was on the announce table on the first spear, if I'm not mistaken. He ends up spearing him through the announce table. Then Roman gets back up. He walks around the ring, and then he was finna go up the entrance ramp, and then Braun Breaker spears him again. Then I think that's what happened. Then you end up getting Bronson Reed. He ends up hitting two tsunamis, if I'm not mistaken, on Roman Reigns. I like what they did. This right to him on TV. He needs some time. I don't know if means he's filming Street Fighter. I'm assuming that's probably what he's going to do. Now, how long he's going to be out is very interesting because you could easily stretch this out. I'm assuming he may be back for Survivor Series because I'm assuming the long-term play is for it to be a War Games match. And I'm assuming he may be in that War Games match, but I could be wrong. But I'm assuming he's going to be out for at least a month. Bare minimum. He's going to miss all of September, I'm assuming, most likely. I don't see any reason why he would come back before any. I don't see what he could possibly do at WrestlePalooza, but I could be wrong. But I'm assuming he's going to be out for at least a month, maybe a month and a half-ish. Come back around late October. But I like it there. The only problem I have is that I knew Bronson Reed was going to lose. I just kind of wish he was the one that initiated the beatdown on Roman instead of Braun Breaker. I feel like it would have made him look more like a menace and more like a threat if he was the one that initiated the beatdown. Because Braun Breaker was the one who helped him with the beatdown to begin with. Bronson Reed just kind of like finished it all. It would have made Bronson look more tough if even if he lost, he was the one that initiated it and he could have did the two tsunamis. But I understand because then we would have got that spear spot. So I kind of get it. I understand why they went that route. But I would have preferred if Bronson was the one that initiated. But I'm still interested to see where this goes. It makes the Bronze look very strong, look to make very credible. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. We end up getting a WWE Championship, Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and the Wyatt Six. This was a really good match. Really enjoyed it. The crowd was amazing. Towards the end of the match, you end up getting Nikki Cross interfere. She ends up holding Montez for a leg. Then you end up getting who I was about to explain. Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, he ends up hitting his sister Abigail while the referee was distracted onto Montez. This allowed them to pick up the victory. The finish, not really a fan of it. So it looks like the Whites are heels, like I've been saying, because it was kind of weird to tell, are they heels or they're tweeners? They're heels, bro. I'm just gonna assume they're heels. They act heelish anyway. But I don't really care because I just find them very boring. I get the story they're going for. The story that they're mainly telling right now is, well, mainly in this match was Montez and Angelo not getting along. Or is their brotherhood being tested? They're telling that story right now, which I don't mind. I'm just like, if you're going to tell this story, the only way this story is effective is if some tag teams actually break up, or because if no tag teams break up, this story is kind of pointless in my opinion, and I don't want the Street Profits to break up because if they break up, I just feel like Triple H isn't going to do anything with either wrestler. That's why I don't really want to see the push. But if he's actually going to get pushed, same with Angelo, then I don't mind them breaking up. But most likely, I'm assuming that they would just be in the lower mid card, so that's why I really don't want to see this breakup. But it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll see how soon they'll be dethroned, but I feel like the Wyatt Six are going to hold these titles for a while, which I'm not that excited about, but hopefully it ends sooner than later, but I'm assuming it's going to end later. But we'll see how this plays out. Now for the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. This match was very weird. This match was not good. It was very mediocre. It had moments I liked, but then a lot of it was just very sloppy. Felt like they had no chemistry at all. This match was just not it. It was not it. It was not it. Now, I'm not going to blame anyone here because it takes two to tango, but there was a certain someone in this match that felt very out of place. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm just going to be honest. It just wasn't hitting. It was just not hitting. And I have never seen so many forearms to the face that Nikki Bella has done. Has she always done that many forearms when she wrestled? I never seen a wrestler do that many forearms, and it was pissing me off because the more and more she kept doing it, the more and more it just looked very just rough and very just unnatural. The match just felt very off, very weird. It was one botch in this match. Yeah, this match was just very, it was just not a good match. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting Becky Lynch. She ends up hitting a roll-up pin onto Nikki Bella, which I did like because I was like, please don't have Becky Lynch cheat against Nikki. Like, I understand Nikki Bella is supposed to be, protecting, coming up to protect the locker room and all that. But it's like, bro, there's no reason you're about to convince me that Becky Lynch needs to cheat against Nikki Bella of all people. So I'm glad she retained. And try to see what's next for Becky Lynch, especially due to what happened in the main event. So I'm assuming this is the end of that rivalry because there's no reason for this to continue. You lost cleanly, so there's no reason for you to continue this. I don't want it to continue, especially after this match. This match was a rough watch. I'm going to be honest. Hopefully we can find new and better things for Becky Lynch. Interested to see what's next for both of those women because I don't know what you do with Nikki Bella after this, but they'll find something for her. But yeah, this match was a very tough watch, but I'm happy that Becky Lynch retained. Now we on to Sheamus versus Rusev in a Donnybrook match. This match was really good. Really enjoyed it. We have one six pack where they was on top of some barrels, and Sheamus ends up hitting I forgot. I think it's called. I forgot what Michael Cole calls it. I think he calls it white noise, if I'm not mistaken. He hit the white noise off the barrels onto two tables, which I thought was sick. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting Rusev. He ends up putting him in his submission hold, and he ends up using the I always forget the item that Sheamus carries. The ukulele, if I'm not mistaken. That might not even be what it's called. But he ends up using the item that Sheamus typically carries around. Uses it as he's putting Sheamus in the submission hold. He's using it to use against his mouth. And then Sheamus taps out, which I found very shocking. Because Sheamus is one of the last people I assume who would tap out. So Rusev wins. I don't know where you go with Rusev from here, but this is a big victory. I hope they actually use it as some momentum, use it to actually build with him. I like it. I like that he tapped out. I like the idea of Sheamus tap out because I feel like the story was built up enough for it. And I like it makes a unique finish because I like that they didn't play no injury angle. They didn't bail Sheamus out. Sheamus lost cleanly. He tapped out. And I like what they did here. Because it's very rare that babyfaces tap out. It's always heels that typically tap out. So I like what they did here. This was really good. I can't wait to see what they do with Sheamus and Rusev. Don't know what you really do with Sheamus. I'm assuming Sheamus is probably going to disappear for a bit, come back, disappear, come back like he typically does. But Rusev, they could do a lot with Rusev, but given that mid-card title picture right now with Dominic, I don't really know. So we'll see how this plays out. Now we end up getting John Cena versus Logan Paul. This was a really fun match. I did expect this match to be a lot better. It did start off very slow at the beginning, but it did eventually pick up. It was a really good, possibly even a great match, depending on how you feel, but John Cena wins. I'm not gonna really go that in depth. It wasn't that many spots to really go over. It was a few cool spots. You have John Cena hitting a code red. You know, having him do a Styles Clash, which I enjoy. I like that we got babyface John Cena because this is the stuff we could have been getting his entire retirement tour, but we had to have him do a different style of promo and all that. But at least we got him back now. Yeah, it was a fun, enjoyable match. I enjoyed it. Wondering what's next. Well, we know what's next for John. Very shocked that this wasn't the main event, especially due to them mentioning Brock Lesnar. So are we really about to get no Brock Lesnar until WrestlePalooza, which is really insane? It doesn't really shock me. It's just more disappointing and a bit ridiculous because you did this at SummerSlam. So we got to wait 2 months for this to pay off. Like, it's just, it's a bit ridiculous. But I enjoyed the match for what it was. It was a good match. Good, fun, enjoyable match. Now we get the main event. Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, LA Knight, CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to be honest. My memory is not the best of this match because when I started watching this, I was getting very tired. So I was dozing on and off. So I'm not going to act like I remember many spots from this match. I really don't. Overall, from what I remember, it was a really fun match, but I don't remember too much of the match because, like I said, I was dozing off throughout this match, mainly because I just didn't get enough sleep and I was extremely tired. And I watched this a little bit later than most because I had things to do. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting CM Punk. He's about to hit the GTS on Seth Rollins. Then you end up getting a random person in a shiesty mask and a hoodie. It ends up doing a low blow, and then I already knew it was Becky Lynch just from the build of the person. I knew it was a woman. I was like, it has to be Becky Lynch. She ends up revealing herself, and it was Becky Lynch. Seth Rollins has a curve stomp onto CM Punk onto a steel chair to pick up the victory. This is very interesting. Now, the pop of Becky Lynch revealing herself was good, but the winning of Seth Rollins winning the match, the crowd just kind of went dead. It was like they was disappointed. Don't know what happened there, but I like the idea. Now, a lot of people are already setting the rumors of, oh my God, AJ coming back. Look, let's calm down. You guys have been doing this AJ Lee return for like a decade. Calm down, lower your expectations. If it happens, cool. That means you was proven wrong. It's nothing wrong. Who doesn't want to be proven wrong that someone that you want to return? So I'm not expecting AJ Lee because I never thought she was ever coming back in the beginning with, and I'm not going to expect her to come back now. People are already setting up the potential mixed tag team match. I understand. I'm just going to assume it's going to be another person, or they're probably not even going to do the mixed tag team match. So I'm not even going to get my hopes up for it, keeping my expectations low. Now, a lot of people are saying she's in the vision. I don't know if this confirms she's in the vision. This could just be a thing where she just helped her husband out because it is her husband. It makes sense logically for his wife to help him out. It makes sense. Now, if she's actually going to be a part of the vision, I would actually like that. That would actually make the group way more entertaining. It gives another mouthpiece, gives another like character to really flesh out and backstage segments in ring. I like the idea. It makes it very interesting, and it makes Becky Lynch title reign more interesting. Even though her reign was already great, this makes it even more interesting now because you could have possible shenanigans with the Brawns. Now, I highly doubt the Brawns and Seth are going to interfere in her matches consistently, but that is an element you can add in her matches. So this is very interesting. Overall, I think it was a good pay-per-view. I was a bit disappointed by the pay-per-view, but it was overall good pay-per-view. I thought it would be more of on the great scale, but it was overall good, enjoyable show overall. But you guys let me know your overall thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.